Hello, friends. Welcome back to our Easy English storytelling channel. Today's story is a warm, surprising, and heart touching story called Hearts and the Hands. It teaches us about kindness, respect, and how appearances can sometimes be very different from reality. This is an expanded version written in easy English, perfect for English learners and slow storytelling lovers. So sit back, relax, and let's begin the journey. It was a bright autumn afternoon. A long passenger train stopped at the station of Denver. People were talking, shouting, laughing, moving with their bags. Steam rose in the sky. Whistle blew loudly. Inside one of the coaches, many passengers were sitting and waiting. Soft sunlight fell through the windows. A young woman named Miss Fairchild sat near the window. She had elegant clothes, soft brown eyes, and a gentle smile. She looked happy and a little bored. Suddenly, two men entered the coach. Both were handcuffed together. Many people turned to look. Miss Fairchild saw the two men. One looked handsome, confident, and cheerful. The other looked old, tired, and a bit rough. The handsome one, with bright eyes and the warm smile, noticed Miss Fairchild. Her eyes suddenly lit up. She recognized him. Miss Fairchild stood up excitedly. "Oh, Mr. Aston, what a wonderful surprise!" she said. The handsome man smiled politely. "Miss Fairchild, it is indeed a pleasure to see you." The older man beside him, still handcuffed, watched quietly. Miss Fairchild looked at the handcuffs and her smile faded for a moment. She was confused. Why was Mr. Aston handcuffed? Was he in trouble? Had he done something wrong? But before she could ask, the older man spoke quickly and politely. "Don't worry, miss. I am the prisoner. Mr. Easton is the marshal taking me to the prison." Miss Fairchild relaxed a little. She smiled again. "Oh, I see. I'm glad to hear that." Mr. Easton looked slightly embarrassed, but he nodded with a small smile. The prisoner continued smiling gently. "Yes, miss. He is a fine marshal, good man doing his duty." Miss Fairchild nodded politely. Her heart was calm again. The train moved through the mountains. The air inside the coach became quieter and warmer. Miss Fairchild began talking happily. "It has been so long since we met, Mr. Easton. You always wanted a life in Washington, didn't you?" Mr. Easton smiled. "Yes, I finally got my start there," Miss Fairchild said. "That must be such a fine job." The older prisoner laughed softly. "Oh, yes, ma'am. He makes us prisoners stand in a line every morning. Toughest marshal in the country." Miss Fairchild giggled. "But Mr. Easton, you look so different, so serious, so official." Mr. Easton nodded. "If comes with the job," the prisoner added, "he get paid well. A marshal job is not easy, but he manages." Miss Fairchild looked impressed. Miss Fairchild looked outside. and saw the beautiful green fields. You must enjoy traveling so much, Mr. Easton. He glanced at the handcuffs. Well, not always, the prisoner laughed loudly. Ha, that's true, Marshal. Traveling with me is not exactly a holiday. Miss Fairchild laughed too. Thinking everything was normal, she didn't notice the sadness in Mr. Easton's eyes. She didn't know the truth. She always saw what she wanted to see. As the conversation continued, the prisoner kept talking politely. He didn't allow Miss Fairchild to feel uncomfortable. He made jokes. He praised Mr. Easton. He kept the atmosphere warm and friendly. He could see that young woman respected Mr. Easton deeply. He didn't want her image of Easton to break. Mr. Easton looked grateful but stayed quiet. The prisoner kept lying gently. Yes, Mr. Fairchild, your friend is a real hero. I would have escaped if he wasn't so strong. Miss Fairchild smiled proudly. She believed every word. The train slowed down and stopped at the next station. People were getting outside to leave. The older prisoner looked at Miss Fairchild kindly and said, well, miss, we must take our leave now. The marshal has business to do. Duty calls. Miss Fairchild nodded politely. It was lovely meeting you again, Mr. Easton. Mr. Easton smiled through his eyes, looked sad. Same here, Mr. Fairchild. The prisoner nodded to her gently. Goodbye, ma'am. The two men slowly walked out of the coach. Miss Fairchild watched them, still smiling gently. She believed she met a brave young marshal. She believed everything was perfect. Two other passengers sitting nearby had heard everything. One whispered to other, that was strange. What was strange? The second man asked. The first man replied, did you notice the handcuffs? Yes. Well, a marshal always keeps the prisoner right hand cuffed to his left hand, and these two were the opposite. Didn't you saw the young man's right hand was free. A prisoner is never allowed to keep the right hand free. The second man's eyes widened. You mean the younger man was a prisoner? Exactly. The older man must be the real marshal. He just didn't want to embarrass the young man in front of that lady. They looked outside the window. The older marshal was looking confidently and walking. The younger prisoner walked beside him, head down. The simple truth, yet powerful. The real marshal protected the prisoner's dignity. He protected the lady's feeling. He protected the peace of the moment. He showed true kindness with both his heart and his hands. Moral. Friends, the story teaches us something beautiful. Sometimes people use kindness to protect others, not to show off. True kindness is silent. True kindness is gentle. True kindness comes from the heart. The older marshal did not need praise. He did not need thanks. He didn't need attention. He simply did the right thing because it was the kind thing to do. So, thank you for listening this expanded easy version of Hearts and Hands. If you liked the story and learned something new today, please like, share and subscribe and just wait for more stories.